India has launched an attack on Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Jammu.
This is a breaking news story currently unfolding in South Asia, and it may have global consequences. In the early hours of this morning, Indian forces launched what appears to be a coordinated attack on Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Jammu. While the full scale of the operation is still unclear, reports are pouring in of heavy artillery fire, airstrikes, and ground force incursions along the line of control, a contentious border that has divided the region for decades. India has not yet made an official statement confirming or detailing the attack. However, sources within the Indian military are framing the operation as a measured response to a militant attack that took place last month in Indian-administered Kashmir. That attack, which targeted a group of foreign tourists, left at least 20 dead and injured nearly a dozen more. India has accused Pakistan of harboring and supporting the militant group responsible, straining relations between the two nuclear-armed neighbors to a breaking point. Pakistan, for its part, has denied those allegations and is already vowing retaliation. In a fiery address to the nation just moments ago, Pakistan's Prime Minister declared that the Indian assault will not go unanswered. His exact words were, "We will respond at a time and place of our choosing." Military analysts are suggesting this could mean a multifaceted response involving asymmetric warfare or even conventional military retaliation. Let's take a step back to understand the historical and geopolitical significance of what is happening. The Kashmir region, often referred to as the world's most dangerous flashpoint, has been the focal point of conflict between India and Pakistan since the partition in 1947. Both nations claim the territory in its entirety, but control only parts of it. Tensions have ebbed and flowed over the years, with periodic escalation into armed conflict. Yet, with both nations now possessing nuclear weapons, any direct confrontation carries with it a terrifying potential for catastrophe. The current crisis was sparked by a deadly militant attack just a month ago, an incident India has compared to previous high-profile attacks such as the 2001 Indian Parliament attack and the 2008 Mumbai massacre. The Indian government has long argued that groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, which have been blamed for such attacks, benefit from safe havens in Pakistan. Pakistan vehemently denies this, asserting that it too has been a victim of terrorism and has taken steps to dismantle insurgent networks. But in the current climate, dialogue between the two nations has completely broken down, and today's developments indicate the dispute has taken a calamitous turn. The situation on the ground remains chaotic. Videos circulating online purportedly show plumes of smoke rising from areas in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, along with the sounds of explosions and fighter jets screaming across the sky. Both sides are heavily militarized along the line of control, which means even a minor skirmish risks spiraling into something far larger. If confirmed, this would not be the first cross-border military operation conducted by India. Similar strikes were reportedly carried out in 2016 following an attack in Uri, and in 2019 after the Pulwama bombing. Those operations were officially called surgical strikes, aimed at dismantling terrorist infrastructure just across the border, but today's action appears far more widespread, which raises the question, what exactly is India's endgame here? Could this be a show of force intended to send a blunt message to Islamabad? Or is it the opening chapter of a more prolonged military campaign? Experts are divided. Some believe India may seek to recalibrate the balance of power in Kashmir entirely, while others warn that even limited engagements risk escalating into full-blown war. Meanwhile, Pakistan has reportedly put its armed forces on high alert. Its military spokesperson has already accused India of violating international law and infringing upon Pakistan's territorial sovereignty. In addition to rhetorical condemnation, reports suggest Pakistan is mobilizing troops and defensive assets along key border positions, yet the timing and form of their promised retaliation remain uncertain. And the implications of this crisis extend far beyond the Himalayan region. The international community is watching closely, acutely aware of the potential for a misstep that could plunge South Asia into chaos. China, a close ally of Pakistan and a rival of India, has expressed deep concern and called for an immediate de-escalation. The United States, meanwhile, has called for restraint and dialogue, but there are reports suggesting Washington is being briefed on contingency plans should the conflict spread. This crisis also places additional pressure on India's Prime Minister, who is widely seen as a symbol of nationalist leadership. Domestically, his administration is under intense scrutiny from a public demanding retribution for last month's militant attack. Today's events may galvanize his base, but they also risk throwing the region into unprecedented turmoil. On the other hand, Pakistan's leadership is facing its own domestic pressures, from a struggling economy to rising political dissent. Historically, external conflict has been used as a rallying cry to unify public opinion, but this time, the risks may outweigh the rewards. A critical question now is the role of diplomacy. Can third-party mediators such as the United Nations or neighboring powers bring the two nations to the negotiating table? Or has the situation already spiraled too far out of control for diplomatic solutions? For the Kashmiris caught in the crossfire, the days ahead are likely to bring further hardship. Civilian casualties are an all-too-common tragedy in this long-standing conflict. Even as military assets clash, it is the people on both sides of the border who will bear the brunt of violence. Communications in the region are already being restricted, making it difficult to ascertain the full human impact at this stage. As night falls in the region, the world waits with bated breath. Will diplomacy prevail, or will tensions escalate in a way that reshapes the geopolitical map altogether? Above all, this story is a sobering reminder of how quickly long-standing hostilities can reignite into full-blown conflict. We'll continue to monitor the developments and bring you updates as they come in. But for now, the world is left grappling with a single question. How far will this escalate? Because when two nuclear-armed neighbors begin exchanging fire, the stakes aren't just regional, they're global. Stay tuned, because this is a story that may evolve hour by hour, minute by minute. Lives are hanging in the balance, and so is peace in South Asia, and perhaps beyond.